Hey, you guys, what is going on? I've decided while I'm up because I'm just an early bird. I wake up early in the morning, even on the weekends. But today is Friday. It's technically my day off, but getting the kids ready for school and everything. I decided to go ahead and talk about two currency pairs, one that just hit take profit and the other that moves opposite. So if you follow me here on TradingView, then you've probably seen my two currency pairs you could trade opposite of one another video. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the video, not really so much what the video details, because you can always come back to TradingView and watch it, but I want you guys to kind of see what the analysis was. Okay, so this is the analysis here that I gave. This is on AUD New Zealand. You guys can see exactly when I did the analysis, where price was at my estimation zone and what the targets were. Take profit was 1.11804. Take profit 2 was around 1.12, looks like 420s or something. And then if we speed along with New Zealand dollar, I was showing you guys how I wanted to enter New Zealand dollar to the downside, going back down to I can't ever get this out. 0.60602. So you can follow me on TradingView. I put trade ideals on here and everything. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's talk about the updated analysis. So I was originally in the trade back here August 2nd. And the trade was going fine. It almost hit take profit, but then it came back down to my zone. And by this time, I moved my stops, but I ended up getting stopped out. Then I hopped right back in the trade a few days later. Now, the reason why this is important and why I'm talking about this is because, for one, I'm a swing trader and I teach people how to hold trades. So you don't have to come back and try to figure these things out every single day, trying to put in the trade here, put in the trade there, get stopped out, take profit, get stopped out, or whatever the case may be. I'm a firm believer. I don't want to try to figure these charts out on one pair every single day, because I know I'm going to force trade. There may not be a setup, and I don't want to force setups, right? Also, too, with having a busy schedule, having children, you may have children, you may have a busy schedule, you may have a work schedule where you work 12, 16s, and you can't always be at these charts to figure things out, right? So sometimes it's best to let the trades run. In order to do that, you got to envision a trade. If you were on a live stream with me from Wednesday, where I talked about, how to enter into more trades on one currency pair, then you heard me talk about envisioning the trade and what it looks like before it moves to your intended take profit. And this is one of those. Okay. So, so I entered the trade again, and my take profit was up here to 1.12448 here, and it was a 1.49 risk to reward. My risk to reward was a lot better from the original entry, but when you re-enter, these things happen. Your risk to reward is going to change. So I risk 118 pips to gain 176 pips. Now, from the original take profit, this trade from where we are now would have taken 24 days to play out. From where I entered again, which was on the 18th, to now the 26th, what's that, 8 trading days, right? And so, I've held through that well, I don't say it's consolidation. This is just price ranging between the high and the low. That's all it did there. And then stop and talk about this part here. Sometimes when price goes into what some say is consolidation or ranging, or when it comes back to reach their zones or levels or trend lines multiple times, they may think, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose. Even when the trade right here, the candlestick went past my zone. Some people say, well, I should be a seller. I got to go opposite. It's like, no, not really. I prefer to be the kind of person who gets stopped out before I say go opposite, because once I say, okay, don't want to see price hit the stop loss, I want to see it hit the stop loss for me to know that I'm wrong. That's just me. That's just my eyes. I don't want to tell myself I'm wrong, because then I wouldn't have trades like this. Same thing happened back here when I entered the trade and I held through my first TP, right? And so these are some of the things that you learn to do when you swing trade. So let's even talk about the trade that's on the opposite side, which is New Zealand dollar. Okay, so you guys can see where I entered the trade on this candlestick. And one of the reasons why I love TradingView is because when you put up a trade ideal, it shows you the exact location, the exact time. It pinpoints exactly when you put the trade ideal out. So you guys can see that I put this trade ideal out August 15th. I know there are some people who say, well, I want to trade live with you and do this and do that. It's kind of hard to trade live with a person who has a schedule that may not be your own. And also too, because sometimes I set pending orders, you'll probably never know when I put a trade in. Also too, I could put an order in 5 minutes or 5 minutes later, earlier, whatever after you. So sometimes kind of hard to do that. But I always try to put some analysis out before price moves, right? Just in case people wanted to follow it at your own risk. I'm not responsible. But that's just what I want to tell y'all. Okay. So yeah, so okay, this trade is running. All right. My first take profit is down here back at the previous lows. The trade is also down to my break, not my break even point, but my actually it is technically break even point. I just have a BE here to say when I'll move it down, right? So before price got down here to my original break even point, which is tells me, hey, Shaquan, if price moves here, put this trade down into profit. That's all that's for. Learning to put those on my charts more. The trade was going well, it's going smooth, but you guys can see that we're in a little retracement. But this is something that I'm probably gonna keep and hold on to because I'm still in another trade on Euro New Zealand dollar. Now, this is called trading the correlations, right? Where if New Zealand dollar goes up, or down, typically I'm going to see AUD New Zealand do opposite, and sometimes Euro New Zealand do opposite. But Euro New Zealand, I'm up over 500 pips still in that trade. So she's already moved down to break even and a lot in profit. AUD New Zealand just hit take profit. New Zealand dollar is running in profit. Now, one of the reasons why I talk about these things and I show you guys these things is because sometimes you may think you can't hold a trade. And one candlestick like this, where prices are running in profit, you may feel, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make the money. It's going to throw me off. I'm not going to hit take profit. And you could get scared and you can manipulate your trades, right? So what I like to say is if you're one of those people, set parameters, learn to set the parameters to say, if price goes a specific percentage in my favor, I'll move the trade to break even, or I'll move some in profit, or I'll say take some money off of the trade. I'll take partials off of the trade. You know what I mean? And if it's something that you don't know how to do yet, I'm pretty sure YouTube has plenty of videos, or reach out to me and we can set up a one-on-one session and I can show you guys how to do this, okay? But be serious, because I'm serious. But this is how it works out. This is how you hold trades, you guys, when you say you want to swing trade. But keep in mind these three things here. Number one, time is irrelevant. When it comes to saying, I want to hold a trade for this specific amount of time, you're kind of going to put yourself in a bind, because what happens if price takes profit before? What happens if price takes profit after that time? Do you have a parameter for that, right? The second thing to holding trades is you have to want to hold the trade. So take time factors out, take the time out, and just say, I just want to hold the trade. I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself to the limits. Y'all, the best trades I've had is when I've held them and I've left them alone. Just forgot about them. Like how they say, set it and forget it. And it kind of goes into the third tip. You kind of do have to set it and forget it when you want to hold a trade. Because if you sit there, you manipulate it. And if you look at it every single day with no motives, right? Like, what is the motivation behind looking at the same currency pair every single day? Sometimes every single week as a swing trader. One of the best traders that I know, he is a position trader. And a position trader is somebody who holds trades for months, up to years at a time, and he only looks at daily, weekly, monthly time frames on the Forex price charts. And he's not trying to get into a trade every week on the same currency pair. He's like, yo, once I have my one or two running, I'm fine. I'll let it run for months or years at a time, and then I'm going to go and find somewhere else in another market or in the same market, but a different pair, a different asset class, a different name. And he does amazing by not touching the trades, right? There's this big myth that if you swing trade, you don't make money, you don't do this, you don't do that. And those things are just not true. It just depends on the time you have as far as life goes. It depends on how active you are in your trading. Everyone is not meant to be a day trader. Everyone is not meant to be a scalper. I definitely thought I was one of those people, but I wasn't. I do better when I let the trades run because I can envision it, I can see it, and I can breathe through it. And if you're one of those people who wants to breathe through a trade, guess what? Hold the trade. Look at higher time frames. So say you want to be a swing trader and you're still on the 5-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, sometimes even the 1 hour time frame, you'll see too much that can make you manipulate what you see in your mind. So just go to a higher time frame, scale out, and envision that the trade can move. Look at these beautiful pushes. To think that price can't get to a long-term target, that's not relevant. That's just not how the markets work. Markets can move long distances. You just got to set yourself up to see the longer distance, and that's why not having a lot of stuff on your chart can help you see those longer distances. Okay, I'm done. I just want to see if this is going to hit take profit in the next few weeks. That's it. Okay, y'all. I just want to come and share that. Y'all have a great week. Happy weekend. I'll see you guys next week.